Imperfectly perfect, imperfectly perfect. Imperfectly perfect, imperfect, imperfectly, imperfectly perfect. Imperfectly perfect couple. Oh yeah.
Welcome back to the Imperfectly Perfect Couple show. I'm Kandy.
I'm Tank.
What's going on with you?
Feel good. Feel accomplished.
I feel great.
I did some things.
Yes, you did. And that needs to be on silent.
It is going to go on silent right now. So we're going to check. We're going to keep going. And silent it goes. Just like that. But yeah, I feel good. Feel accomplished. Had a very, 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 very eventful full weekend of surprises. Which I surprised you.
Mm-hmm. Which I was very taken back by surprise. It's like, he's always making me cry tears of joy. So.
I knuckle her up every now and then.
Oh, whatever. You'd be by yourself. If I was getting knuckled. So, basically, he basically had, hired somebody to surprise me, and the surprise was outside. So, he could kind of, go into detail in how he picked whomever to do this for me. But, yeah, it made me cry because I had been working, very diligently, very hard for the past 2.5 years to get this master's degree. I started, shortly after, about maybe 8 months or so after our youngest was born. And the main reason of me going back to school was because I was noticing with a lot of the jobs and the type of bachelor's degree that I had, like, it really wasn't no leeway for too many advances or more money, so I decided to go back to school. So that, that whole journey and, just the inside hate that I seen just trying to get my degree and, just all of the people that were so helpful and wanting me to go back to school. I got a mix of a different array of emotions and feelings when it came back to that. Not just with, previous places of employment, but, with, those that supported me were some of the people from my older job and, that became my friends over time. And not only that, they kept encouraging me. I had a couple of those women that supervised me along my journey, and that really helped me out. So it's just been a long time coming, thinking I secured a placement for internship, and then I didn't, and going back and forth and all of that with that. But I just thank everybody who basically helped me along the way because it has been a journey. I thank all of the support from friends and family, and of course you, because even when I didn't want to hear it, and I had made a post about that, like when I didn't want to hear it, when I felt like I wanted to quit, I've told my friends I'm about to quit because I'm stressed out, and they would be like, oh no, don't quit, or sometimes you got to step back, and just depending upon like where your mindset is and the type of support you have is what carries you or what continues you to continue your journey versus you taking a break.
Well, see, that's also part of, me personally, when you have a significant other, that's part of your significant other knowing you. I always kind of say or refer to this thing of saying like, I know you better than you know yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because if you know your significant other, better than they know themselves, or as you may think you do, then you should know part of their passions. You should know that, when they do go through hard times or whatever the case may be, or even just having people around you that you know, that know what your true inner core passions is, because along any journey, most definitely is going to be, you know, trials and tribulations, doubts, or whatever the heck you may want to call it. And, you know, sometimes it's easy to have those people to, you know, to agree with you, but then a lot of times it's hard to have them people basically tell you what you don't want to hear. Right. It's easy to have yes men around, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, that kind of, because that kind of, well, I ain't gonna say that kind of, that was part of my my approach, because I feel as if I knew what a lot of your true inspirations or desires were. You know what I'm saying? I knew what you really wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And then I forgot what else I was gonna say.
It just made me emotional, because, you know what I'm saying, like, the people that sat back and watched me come along the way, you know, or were around me when I first began this part of my journey, know part of my past journey trying to get my bachelor's degree. So, like, taking them along with me through this whole road of the master's degree, it was, you know, it was emotional. So it was really, really, really nice. I didn't expect it. He kind of like took me back. I'm like, oh my God. And actually, that day was the day of my virtual graduation as well. So that was like, I was kind of on the fence about gathering and doing a party, because at first I was like, okay, I'm gonna throw myself a little graduation party, and then I was like, I don't know if I feel like,
just a lot. It was just a lot of mixed emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, how big did she really want the event to be?
How many
did she
people
want
you
right
want to be there?
So you know, so what kind of pushed me into doing what I did, which you guys could check it out on the Imperfectly Perfect Couple Facebook page, and also posted it on our Instagram page as well as our personal pages, but most definitely those pages for sure. So what I wound up doing, Steve Mack and hold on. So what I wound up doing, I wound up reaching out to one of my good people that I know, and they wind up his wife, I supposed to say his wife, I believe is April. She has a company called Give Me a Sign, and you know, pretty much last year with everything that had taken place, you know, to where people couldn't really celebrate the way how they wanted to. That was a big thing, to where, you know, people were doing like drive-by celebrations and congratulations and happy birthdays. So just so happened he had posted a post. Steve Mack had posted a post basically saying like, hey, if you or anybody need any signs, contact me, inbox me, and whatever. So I did that. Got on the phone with him, talked to his old lady. Boom. I mean, she did exactly what she said she was going to do. You know, she basically just ran it down. I told her what the scenario was.
April, you made me cry.
Yeah, she did her thing. And I hope that this is your real name, like, because, I mean, this is what I'm looking at on the Cash App. But, yeah, so, yeah, it just, man, yeah. I was pleased. I was nervous, as I said before, because I know Steve Mack, he got a lot of different hustles, you know what I mean? And one of his hustles, you know, he hooked people lawns up, you know what I mean? So, and I'm a lawn guy as well, you know what I mean? So, hey, I wanted to make sure that everything was presentable. So, leading up to it, I knew we were supposed to get a lot of rain, and then we were supposed to do some things, and I'm like, man, you know, my yard ain't gonna be the way how I want it to be, even though that I cut it every week. So, but everything wound up working out, and then, you know, I was hoping that she didn't look at like cameras or whatever the case, you know, that morning. I snuck out.
And it's funny because, like, I'm typically, like, always looking at the cameras, or, like, you know, not too much the windows, but, like, when you get the notifications, I'm typically like, oh, what's going on? And this particular time, I just wasn't feeling it. And I'm like, okay, he about to get up and go take care of some business or whatever. and I'm about to cook breakfast anyway. I might as well lay here and relax. That's kind of how I was, thinking. So.
Yeah. So, boom. Get just so happy. Oh, and then too, I added my little twist to her presentation, Miss April's presentation. Went to Kroger. Hey, shout y'all out. They had roses on sale. They had dozen roses on sale for $6.99. Now, yeah, true indeed, it didn't come with a vase, but you got dollar stores, or if you got vases laying around the house, you can do your thing. So I bought 4 dozens of roses. I hooked it up. Came back, went in the garage. My son had seen what I was doing, and I'm like, shh, don't say nothing, it's a surprise. And then, after I got everything together, put the roses in the front, came out, and you guys can check out the video. Like I said, if you haven't checked it, on Imperfectly Perfect Couple, Facebook and Instagram page, Imperfectly Perfect Couple. So it was cool. And then we also celebrated your friend's birthday. We went out.
We did like a dual type of little small celebration with just us, just our families. And we ended up going out to a Mexican restaurant.
Oh my goodness.
Juan Miguel's.
Oh my goodness. Let me tell you.
Like a lot of food. Like
a lot ain't even. A
portion is not a portion for a single person to sit there and eat. Their portions are like triple. It's enough for 3 people to eat off of.
Yeah, because like when it all had came about that we were going to actually go there, we're going to actually do something. Kandy had sent something my way and was like, "Hey, these are the 2 restaurants that they want to know if you can pick and see which one you want to go to." So I seen their nachos, and I'm like, you know what? I want some nachos.
And
I want
we
to
had
keep it
him
simple.
pick because he's the picky eater.
I'm the picky eater.
So,
but the nachos though, they were like
massive.
Man, actually, I want to go back because I kind of feel as if I like wasted the nachos. Because like with stuff like that, once they get in the container and they get soggy, so it ain't even a full thing. I want to go back, or at least get a fresh order of nachos. Actually, I may want to get some tomorrow or something.
What you want to do?
I want
a kid nacho.
I want to be able to say I ate.
Because our daughter got a kid nacho, and her kid nacho was enough for me to eat.
Yeah, that was a lot.
She didn't even finish it all.
That was a lot. It was most definitely a lot. The kid nacho was a lot. I wound up getting the regular.
The small.
That was just the regular though.
But that was a small.
And that was the small because it had large or regular.
Yeah.
And the lady was like, I mean, unless you're extremely hungry, I would advise you to get the regular. And I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, whatever. I ain't gonna be greedy. Man, she brought that out. I'm looking like, what in the world? It could have fed 2 of me. Maybe even a third. You know what I mean? But it was a lot. It was a lot of food. It was a lot of food. And the weather was nice.
Yeah.
Which Friday it wound up getting kind of cool.
Yeah. But our weather been sucking lately because it's been a lot of rain. Like, it's been just weekends
all over the place
to where it's just like downpouring, and we haven't really been able to do much of anything just because the weather has been just gloomy, rainy, then humid, then chilly,
all over the place.
It's going through all type of seasons up here in Michigan, so
yeah, most definitely I would say that.
Yeah.
Well, so we talked about the surprises.
Thank you, Steve. What I hear Tank call you, Steve, MF and Mac.
Steve motherfucking Mac. And Miss April motherfucking Mac.
Right, thank y'all. Y'all really brought. Listen, the one quote, what is it? I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. That really touched me.
Yeah,
that really touched me right there. I was like hashtagging that in my photos and stuff. I'm like, woo! Because, shoot, I know some of the people that I know that, my grandmothers and stuff that have passed on and passed away. It's like they would be so proud. I know that they would. So,
yeah,
cousins, uncles, all of them, that have passed on. So,
for sure.
Aunties.
So, anything else? Anything that caught your eye? Anything or what you got? What you got to say? What you want? What we doing now?
What we are doing. Let me see.
Well, in this brief moment of pause, you always can go on to imperfectlyperfectcouple.com to catch up on all of the episodes leading all the way back to number 1.
Okay.
Of course, in the introduction. We also got the phone number 1-844-YOUVENT 1-844 YOUVENT. That's where you can get it off your chest. You ain't got to hold it in, because holding stuff in, that's how pressure builds up, and pressure bursts pipes. And we don't want you to pop your lid. So call us, talk about it. You can always remain anonymous, or you can even send an email in at imperfectlyperfectcouple.com. Well, at Gmail. Imperfectly Perfect Couple.
So you messing it up this week. You got on me the first
Imperfectly
week.
Perfect. What did I say?
No, you got on me the first week because I was like, check us out on Facebook. You was like, no.
You can send emails as well with topics and concerns and questions.
Please, because I've been getting a few of them here and there. So
Imperfectly Perfect Couple at gmail.com. Imperfectly Perfect Couple at gmail.com.
Calm. Okay. One thing that I seen that I felt is funny, just to get the humor all around, everything that's going on.
What's that?
I love Kerwin Claymore on Instagram. If y'all don't know who that is, y'all need to find out, because he is hilarious. It looked like, I don't know if he posted this or retweet or reshared it or whatever, but he posted they need to go ahead and announce this shutdown before I go buy school clothes.
Hey, we got to be careful with that, because they will shut us down.
Okay. And then he like, because I could just buy shirts if they going to be on Zoom.
Hey, that is most definitely true.
That was hilarious. I'm like, that was like the touch to make everything like lighthearted with all of the stuff. So.
Well, I got a couple of things. Mm-hmm. Something that took place almost 24 hours ago. The versus battle.
Oh my God.
How could we not? Now look, now the crazy thing about that is Dipset and the Locks, they did their thing. You know what I'm saying? But the Locks, Jadakiss, like he said, he is the what he say? What he say? He was the machine that keep it going and keep the Locks going. Listen. He did his thing, but the one thing I gotta say, and which was very interesting to me, I watched a YouTube show this morning, and the YouTube show, what they did was they played back the album versions of those songs, or even the singles. Basically, they played back that set, but the studio, just the audio. Now, listening to it off of just like somebody going back to back just from, playing it, Dipset, you would have thought Dipset would have had it. Because the energy of those songs at that time was, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Locks did their thing, but just listen, because if you go back and even listen to the first 5 songs, what you saw last night and what you hear on the show, it would have been completely different. Like, me listening to, so I thought, I came to the conclusion, like, you know what? Just because, hold on, what did I tell them? I sent the text out, basically telling my guys, basically saying, like, where is this at? This is not good.
Oh, it's not.
It's not good at all. Hold on. Okay, water, boom, then conversation. Oh, okay. So I sent the text out basically saying, like, I said the breakdown between the show, basically, because I can't even say that shit right now. I don't know. I'm lost.
Okay.
I'm lost.
So my take on the whole thing. So when we were getting ready to watch it, because I'm a huge like hip hop rap fan and all of that stuff. Tank was like, I think I got Dipset. Who you got? And I'm like, he was like, what you think about the Locks? And I'm like, I was like, I don't know if I can say like necessarily Dipset. I don't know. That was just in my spirit. Just because I kind of was like always like Rough Riders and you know, that whole team of genre and all of that stuff. So I'm like, I don't know. But like, yeah, listening to their songs, like the actual like recorded version of their songs, like the Locks, it's like it's hard, but it's all calm.
Right.
Like
it didn't have that energy.
Yeah, you don't hear like the aggressiveness that Jada had.
That show
on
was
stage.
stupid.
Like,
the presence was stupid.
Like how much energy like they brought to the table, like it was just.
It was crazy.
It was immaculate. It was like, rah! Like,
yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Jesus. I'm like, you know how the songs go for the most part.
It
you
was
know how
different.
they sound, but it was like the energy was something
because
different.
put it like this: when you listening to the songs without watching that show, you would have. I know I would have thought that just listening to that, the energy that Dipset songs had, that's what the Locks brought to the stage, and the calmness that the Lock songs normally have without seeing them perform anything, that's what Dipset had.
But, you know, we seen them in concert when they did wasn't it the Bad Boy reunion?
But they just did like a song or two. I mean, yeah, it was cool, the song that they did, but we never seen them do like a full, that was like a full, what, hour and a half?
Well, I kind of did. I mean, that was like years ago.
Oh, well.
That was like...
But I mean, but yeah, I just listening to it. That was crazy. That was most definitely that was a great battle. And
I think the Locks really like intimidated Dipset. That's what it basically came down.
Like, well, some people like I heard something to where like what some people said, they was like you know, they think that the Locks was coming for, how did they say it? The Dipset was coming for recognition, and the Locks was coming to prove a point. You know what I'm saying? Like Dipset was coming to be honored. That's what they said. Dipset was coming to be honored. Like, oh, okay, that's Cam, that's such and such. That's, you know what I'm saying? The Locks was coming like, let me show y'all what's up. You know what I'm saying? They did that. And then I got a couple of things that I done seen online. Most definitely that done caught my attention. Like this one thing that I seen online. It was like, how the F y'all be sexually frustrated, but don't be financially frustrated. People be posting stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, I feel that one. Of course, you know, 50 got his troll on by talking about the verses. And this last one that I seen, people always saying this. People always saying, you know, when it comes to like birthdays and if it's a family member or loved one or whoever that then passed away, and they always saying, I like to send a happy heavenly birthday to so-and-so. And what they wind up saying is, everybody ain't in heaven. They in hell too.
Oh my God.
So you got to remember that to send a happy hell birthday to your loved ones. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
They say money isn't everything. I know cause money.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Realism.
Man's bigger.
Hey, this your boy Foolish.
And you are tuned in.
Chop Shop Podcast.
Lady Sheeta, Marvel, TK, and Tezzy.
The Chop Shop Podcast. As long as I know you love me.
Nigga, I work. Hold up. These hoes so thirsty. Hold up. Can't let a nigga out work. Hold up. Let me pull up. I like Don P, no cup. I need brown bone, no slut. I like thickness, no gut. But for strippers, so what? cathedral. Church, tabernacle, keys, holy water, sanctuary, baby, welcome to my cathedral.
All right, we are back.
What you had to say in prayer?
I had to channel.
Oh, channel your inner self.
Most
Your inner
definitely.
being.
Most definitely, and I did that. We are back.
We are back.
So what's
Okay.
up?
So, okay, I had got a topic from a viewer.
Okay then. Shout out to you, viewer.
Shout out to you, viewer. I'm not going to say who you are.
Nope.
So, the topic is about child support.
Uh-oh.
So, this particular viewer has a family member that posts different things about child support and how he thinks things should go.
God damn it.
And his theory is he believes that if he's paying child support, no matter if it's $25 a week, $50 a week, or whatever, that's supposed to be going to that child and not for that baby's mama or mother of his child to be spending on things such as her hair or her nails or stuff that needs to be spent around the house, that it should only be spent on the child.
Okay then.
But the gag is
All right.
that he is not providing anything else when it comes to this child. So the mother is basically doing everything. Keeping a roof over the child's head, providing clothes for that child, and any other essential food, shelter, all of that stuff. So this is the topic. What do you think when it comes down to that? Like, should child support just mainly go on the child, no matter how much it is? Or do you think that mother has the right?
Well, all right. Me, myself, I mean, you are the mother of my children. So
Nigerian.
So with that being said, I mean, I am not a candidate of that. But I am the product of never receiving child support. So I've heard talks and so on and so forth. So I am the product. You can see that. See, I didn't get that child support. That's why I talk the way I talk sometimes. But I'm the product of not receiving child support. And my mom did her thing. And there are a lot of mothers out there that do their thing. Now, in my opinion, what I think and believe, that is is what they call it, a double-edged sword type ordeal. All right, so what I think is this. I think that, first of all, if the child is basically being taken care of, you know what I'm saying? Like, if the mom got the kid looking decent, at least presentable. Yeah, decent. That's a better word. You know, as long as the kid ain't out there looking like Bebe's kid or a little Rugrat or something like that, and then the mom is taking the money, and, you know, she got the latest BFF bundles. Yeah, you like that? I got you. But yeah, she got the latest BFF bundles in her head and got, you know, all of the latest drip or whatnot. And got the Mexico body box booty. That's a bad look, you know what I'm saying? But if it's a thing to where if she's actually handling her business and she got that kid looking, you know, presentable, like you said, I mean, I don't see what's the issue. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just a thing to where, you know, some people just like that wouldn't necessarily be confrontation, but some people just like conflict. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's like a conflict type of issue. You know, I mean, because I'll wait, but I think I'll flip it a little bit, but
because he could be bitter just because he's on child support, or the fact that baby mother don't want to be with him.
That too.
And, you know, mad because he put him in the system. But you got to think about this too, and I don't want to speak for every woman out there because women do feel different. You wouldn't necessarily have to put a man on child support unless they were handling their business.
Bingo.
So if you're doing what you're supposed to do for this child and she ain't never got to ask you for a diaper, a wipe, a outfit, and it's just like, hey, I need for my child, and you actually see the effort that she's putting behind this, there's no reason necessarily.
But some people do it because they're bitter.
Yeah.
Some people
In
do.
that
Yeah,
case.
some women do that shit because they're bitter. Because I know some people that to where it's like, we could have done I was trying to do all of this, but you wanted to have these people come in between. So what do you think about this then? What do you think about this? Okay, say for instance, a guy has daughters by a young lady. They're not together no more, or whatever the case, but he done moved on. It can be his wife or his girlfriend. Whoever it is, she's been around for a minute. This ain't no revolving door. You know what I mean? Okay, the girl's hair is messed up. The little girl's hair is messed up. Because we done seen things on Instagram, or we done seen things on social media to the point to where just like how dude had his little daughter's hair done, and the mom, sat up there and cut the little girl hair. Was it her real hair?
I think it was extensions that she had added in.
They sat up there and the girl was crying like crazy. That, to me, that is straight up bitter. Like, do you think that this man is allowing somebody to do something to his baby?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That, to me, that's just grimy.
But
that's
then you're
wrong.
going to have some women that say or feel this way, too. I don't want every woman's hands up in my child's head.
That's true. But, okay, y'all stay 45 minutes to an hour away.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's something that y'all need to do. The little girl slept wild. Boom, her hair got messed up.
But I'm telling you, like, it is some women that feel like,
man,
hey, do not have another woman, especially what catch-22. It could be a woman that she don't necessarily like, that's not necessarily like his girlfriend or his woman that has been around, but it could be a girl that she may have like gotten into it in the past with, and he done had the girl braid the little girl hair up. I mean, it's so many different aspects that you can take that and see why a woman would get mad, but to embarrass a child like that, especially after she done got beautiful and she's feeling pretty, I think that is petty upon the mother to just go cut the braids out. Because if you had anything that you needed to say, it should have been to him and as to why this shouldn't have been done this way, or hey, next time, don't have her or whomever braiding her hair or whatever. I mean, that's where communication lies at, and in a lot of those situations to where it's the baby mama, baby father drama, it's not communication because they don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to come together and, basically have that medium with each other. So it's always that battle. But you don't do a child like that, because
I agree.
That sticks with a child. They'll always remember, like, my mama cut my hair out when my mama and daddy got into it. It is trauma. That's
gonna be some trauma right there.
That's gonna last with her forever.
Man, forever until you kick the dust. But back to the initial question, I just kind of feel as if, as long as the mom or whoever it may be, because child support can be paid by women, as long as that child is being taken care of, it ain't got to be name brand. I ain't gonna say the name, but it ain't got to be name brand. But as long as that child is being taken care of, and hey, do your thing with the rest of the money. You know what I'm saying? As long as that kid ain't being wanted for. Now, something else that I wound up seeing. There is once upon a time there was a popular social media couple, YouTube couple, or whatever the case. But now they're going their separate ways. She's a singer. I don't know what he's doing. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
And I don't know what her new dude, I think, is that her husband, a new person?
I don't know if he's her husband.
I don't know what her current partner that she's with, what they does, but they have a child. And the previous guy, when they were just social media people, their child is the oldest. And it was a thing to where her oldest child was going back to school, and he had on just like, regular, I'm going back to school, summertime clothes. It wasn't no name brand Nikes, but he had like some name brand shoes on, but it wasn't like, you know, $100 pair or whatever the case. Some regular basketball shorts and a regular boy type t-shirt. Then they took a side by side picture of her baby that she has now, and that kid had on full drip apparel.
Oh, Lord.
And they came after. You seen that?
I didn't see it.
But you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
They came after the little boy, like the little boy, to the point to where it was like, to where, because to my knowledge, the guy who she was with when she was doing the YouTube stuff, like they don't even like, they can't stand. Yeah, but it got to the point to where he had to step in and like check people that was going after her on her page. Like, hey, hold on now. You know, my kid don't have, you know, he don't have to necessarily have XYZ. So they came together in that part to defend their child. You know what I'm saying? Because people were straight up attacking the little boy, and when I read her post, she was pretty much saying like her son don't even want to like do nothing with the camera or anything because they made him feel like they talked about like y'all got your other son looking like this, you got him looking like, you know, like trash. You know what I'm saying? And to me that's just bold, man. People can just be insensitive.
That's what you gotta be careful with your children too. And people don't realize that no matter what type of stature you get, and you could just be regular schmegular and you posting, you know, your children.
Yeah. And
anybody can take a post and run with it and screenshot it and then share it, and then it's all over the place to where now it's like people talking about your children. Children are supposed to be off limits. Like,
should be.
But, you know, not everybody thinks so. So that's just messed up. Oh, but what about this aspect? Back to the child support. Now, if she has a whole setup, house, and all of that stuff, or apartment, however, and he has his own room, his own clothes, do you think that father should have the same setup at his place to where he has, it don't have to be his own room, but it could be a section of, you know, his bed, his clothes, or whatever the case? Do you think a woman should always have to bring a bag to drop off the child, or bring an overnight stay bag, or do you think it should be split both ways?
I mean, unless it's a thing to where, which I've heard people talking about that, you know, that's my shirt that I bought, that got to come back to my house, or them my shoes that I bought, they got to come back to my house, so that ain't going over there. I mean, depending on whatever it may be. I mean, my personality, I just try to make things make sense, you know, and that's just with everything that I do. I try to make it make sense, you know, and if I was in that type of a situation, I would most definitely try not to let it get like that. I mean, unless it's a thing to where, if it's a thing to where, like, say for instance, there are other siblings or other kids over there that just terrorize stuff, then maybe, you know, I may not want to send certain things or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to maybe games or anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, okay, if I send this, that got to come back. You know what I'm saying? Or no, we ain't going to send that. But other than that, I mean, who cares, man? You know, I mean, like I said, I think that some people still like to have some type of level of confrontation, you know what I'm saying? Something to talk about. Yeah, it's a form of control. You know, people don't really be done with situations, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so I don't know.
I mean, I think in my opinion, it would be cool if it's affordable for both parties to have it set up that way, to where I don't necessarily have to worry about sending the bag, because I know you got clothes, underwear, something to sleep in. It ain't got to be a whole lot of stuff, but I know if I drop you off for like the weekend, you good for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? And it's all of that stuff, live with communication too. If you gonna send some
everything,
you would think common sense would be, okay, yeah, you did send these clothes over here, I'm gonna wash them and send them back when they go back.
Getting ready to leave or whatever.
So all of that stuff takes teamwork and a bunch of communication. But you know, you're going to have some people that go back and say, well, nah, because if he bought the clothes it's my son anyway, and it's supposed to be with him wherever he go. And, all of that stuff.
So look, I would just say communicate if you can. You know what I'm saying? Just communicate if you can. And, hey, pray to the higher power. That's all I can tell you. You know what I mean? That's it. That's
and make
it.
sure you're doing the whole thing by your children right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can always give your children too much. You can always
That's
give
true.
them too much. And
That's
they
true.
become accustomed to it. So when they start growing up and getting big and all of that stuff, now it's like, I want this and you gonna give me this now.
You ruined them.
Yeah, you basically like spoil them to
You
death.
don't want to ruin them. Yeah, you don't want to ruin them.
So it with spoiling takes responsibility. If you're gonna work hard to provide these things for your children, they should at least know some type of chore around the house, some type of job, little part-time job, gig, something.
So going back to even in that, relating to that situation, communication. That's it. So are we going to do the rundown of what it is? Or are we going to do these first? And
let's do the cards.
All right. Like I said, last week we introduced a new segment to where we pulled these cards. Boom. And then we answered the questions. You can go.
You want me to go first?
Most definitely.
If I can read this week, right?
Uh-oh.
Do you feel like what I do for a living fits my purpose? Ain't that about it? They said explain.
Fits your purpose, like your overall purpose?
Yeah, my purpose in life. Do you feel like what I'm doing?
Do
you feel like what I do for a living fits?
I would say yeah. I mean, because even what you went to school for, you know what I'm saying, it's still some type of form of service to a degree. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it may not be to the fullest.
The service of what I really want to do, but...
Yeah. So, to a degree, I would say yeah. The environment. What about...
Vice
what you
versa
think about...
with
Yeah.
I think that you like helping people.
I do.
I think because
Remember the video?
What video?
When I saved that lady?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I remember I was working at the psych hospital then at that particular time. And it was a lady that was about to jump over the overpass of 696. And Tank here talked her down and saved her. And basically got her down. And, you know, it was all over the news. And he had it
was an award.
You got the key to the city.
Hey, I don't like to brag, but I got that motherfucker though. I did.
So,
but I got an award and I got it was like some type of pen and so on and so forth. So yeah, I received that.
So we offer mental health over here.
For sure.
You know.
Gotta keep it clear, dog. All right, let's see. See if I can read because I didn't get child support. Okay, it says, if you could fight any battle for me, past or present, which would it be and why?
That's deep. If I could fight any battle for you.
Yep. Any battle. Past or present. And why?
Man, I could say something about the present right now, but that's a whole other show. But anyway, I would say, let me stick with the past.
Well, it say past or present.
Yeah, because I said I could say a whole lot about the present, so that's not even to mention right now.
All right.
But
all right.
Past. Whew, I say that probably like when you were in school, and I think when you got kind of like discouraged at one point, you know, when you were in math class and all of that stuff.
But I passed that class.
No, but it was a struggle for you at first.
It was.
And it was a higher math because you was going, what's that, WC3?
I think it was like,
I don't remember, but it was some years ago. And at this time, I was at Wayne State.
Shit, I was out of school.
And he hadn't been in school for a minute. And it was like he was in this math class and you were taking a biology class or something too at the same time.
Yep.
And at that point in time, I would say, like, because the school in me, I really wanted to be like, shit, if I could go and disguise myself as him right quick and go up in there and take them classes for him. Like, that's something that I would have went back and did.
Okay. I would say for you, I mean, I think what I'm about to say can apply for past and present. Mm-hmm. Like when people be trying to like push over or talk shit, you know what I'm saying? Like with me, I'm the type of person to where like I'm gonna be respectful, but I'm gonna let you know what the fuck is on my mind. You know what I mean? So, and no matter what ethnic group you may be or level of education, I know how to get back at you. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times she may be quiet with things. And it's like with me, I've learned, I kind of feel I made it my business to learn how to insult a motherfucker without necessarily calling you a motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that I've learned. So, you know, and there's been situations like what you said earlier, like the things that you were dealing with at one of the previous places where you were employed at. Mm-hmm. And it's just certain things that I like, if I could have been in that situation, you know what I'm saying? It's just like I would have loved to have been that muscle to, you know, just squish somebody's head real quick. Just okay, let me stop. I'm squishing y'all head. I don't want to do that. All right, you pick one more, then I pick one more, then that's it.
Okay. I appreciate that, though. I'm getting better at that.
I mean, it's good. It's all good.
No, but I do go back and I think that, too. Like, I should have said something like like, I should have. But, you know, you just be on the edge. Am I going to lose my job?
Man.
I totally understand. If you could heal a pain inside of me, which would it be and why?
If I can heal the pain inside of you, I would say her sciatic nerve. The reason why is because in the past, the reason why is because, you know, when she was pregnant with our first, was it after game?
It was Cassidy.
Oh, it was Cassidy.
And it was Callie.
And that it took her on out, and she just been having issues ever since then, you know, so.
Yeah, but that doctor said, don't get heavy.
Yeah.
That was... He basically laughed at me and said not to get fat.
What it would be for me?
If I could heal a pain inside of you, I would say your Achilles tendon.
God damn it. I don't know what's wrong with that thing. That little wiggly thing feel like it's going to break or something.
Listen. If I grab his Achilles,
man,
or like if I kick him in the bed the wrong way, it's
listen,
if it's not that or the new thing you talking about with your hip. That's the new thing.
What you know what? That's okay today.
That's better.
It's all right today. But listen, that thing back there, that little, I call it the little wiggly thing. That thing there, boy, like if somebody kick you in that or slit that, it's over. Ooh, it's hurting just thinking about it. Let me go to my question. All right. If I had never met you, how would your life be different?
Oh, you always say that, man.
And I think I just asked you something about that. Keep it real.
If I had never met you,
I mean, you ain't got the kids, because remember these kids belong to me. They came from me. They came out of you, but they came from me. So you wouldn't have these kids.
I don't know. I probably typically, just with how everything was going, if I had never met you, I think I would have eventually found somebody to date. I just don't know, because like at that particular time, wasn't nobody really showing me too much of anything special. No, for real though. I probably would have stayed at home longer. I would have probably been trying to find a way to get away from home, but like how I was gonna do it, I probably would have to really think about it, because the job I was working really wasn't a job to pay anybody's rent at that time when I was working at Irvin. So, I probably wouldn't have had as many kids as I got now. I tell you that. Because just thinking, like, if I had to do it by myself and if I was a single mother, I probably wouldn't have had more than one if I had one. So I probably would have stayed at home longer. If I would have ever got back in school, who knows? Because he was part of the reason why I got back in school.
And we don't tell them that part.
I mean, you know.
We don't tell
You
them
motivated me.
Yeah.
And got me back on track. And you fronted the bill.
Well, I take on that question. How I would take that question would wind up being most definitely. I know I would be traveling. I probably wouldn't be. Well, I probably would have a place here. It probably wouldn't be like
You would have been a hot boy.
most definitely. I mean, like if I had the possessions that I have now. I mean, come on now. If I had some of the same possessions, but I was single and I didn't have kids. Probably so, but I know for sure I wouldn't be in Michigan. Not like I would. I know I would travel more. Just put it like that. I would be traveling. I would travel way more.
I doubt I would have even traveled.
I know for sure I would.
I doubt
And especially like if Marquise, if he still would have had that mentality of just going places, I probably would have been right. You know what I'm saying? Like right there, because it was things where you seen him, you seen me, you seen me, you seen him. You know, so
two hot boys
would have been everywhere. No, but I mean about that business though. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I can say.
I'm just saying, Marquis and you put me in the mentality if
man.
Listen, you two together, y'all be hot boys. That's what y'all be.
About that money.
About the money, but y'all be hot boys because when y'all get together and link up, everybody be looking at y'all and be like,
Don't nobody look at me. All right, well, go ahead and let's wrap it on up.
Okay, anywho. So, what did we talk about today? We had a lot of stuff that we had mentioned, you know.
Yeah, we talked about your surprise.
So, yes, my surprise. I was like, it was really sentimental to me. Even thinking about it makes me want to cry, so I don't want to talk too much about that. Thank you for all of that good stuff. I really appreciate everybody that had a hand in that, and, you know, I'm just really, really, really emotional about my accomplishments, so...
As you should.
Yeah, but, you know, I don't want to cry on camera. So.
I mean, you don't have to cry. You ended up crying on the videos that they've seen that I didn't posted, which is on Imperfectly Perfect Couple, Facebook and Instagram. And you can also go to imperfectlyperfectcouple.com. Go ahead. We'll watch the locks.
And, yes, the battle was very good. Shout out to the locks and Dipset.
Sick.
I would like to be on an album. I used to rap back in the day. Shout out to those who've heard my first single.
That was produced by me. We need to find that too. We need to go to your people's house and see if we can find that.
Listen,
because that got to be over there.
Listen, that was like when I thought I was a part of like Cash Money or something.
Hey, look here,
Young Money.
For those of y'all that don't know, you know what I'm saying. Tank D literally push keys. You know what I'm saying. I literally get it in. You know what I mean. So I do that. But yep.
I would have had some dope lyrics. Anywho, but
the child support thing.
Yeah, the child support. So basically, parents, do your part. That's the only thing that you can really do is do your part. When it comes to, you know, trying to direct what's going on with, you know, baby mothers, baby fathers, and those children, communication is the best key. What is this?
I said, all right.
Anywho, communication is the best key. You know, as long as your children aren't out here looking bummy and, you know, or looking undecent, if that's a word. As long as that woman is doing what she has to do, I don't see why fathers should get so angry and upset on what they think.
We just say parents.
Parents. As far as them getting so upset, because to be quiet as kept, $50 a week, if that's what's coming out, or even if it's less than that, is not giving probably half of what she's doing to provide that roof over her head and that baby's head, child care, and all of that stuff. So it's all communication. So you have to
Okay.
be very careful with that.
All right.
So I don't know what else to say.
Well, I do. Make sure you tune in to Imperfectly Perfect Couple on imperfectlyperfectcouple.com, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Also,
Like, share, and
visit.
subscribe.
What?
You know when people be saying like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe. We
Like
gotta
our
beat that in.
page.
Gotta be that in here. Like, share, and subscribe. Also, you can call 1-844-YOUVENT, 1-844-YOUVENT. That's where you can get all of the stuff that you got built up and bottled up and get it off your chest. You can remain anonymous unless you want them to know who you are. You also can hit us up on imperfectlyperfectcouple@gmail.com. Until then, we're going to catch you next week.
Hey.
Hey.
You know what? I was supposed to be watching The Honeymooners.
Imperfectly perfect, imperfectly perfect. Imperfectly perfect, imperfect, imperfectly